In this tutorial, I'll show you one typical usage for each of the pptXTREME edit functions. First, let's show the pptXTREME ribbon. For easy access, press Ctrl-Shift-X at any time to bring up the pptXTREME ribbon. The edit functions are grouped right here on the pptXTREME ribbon. Most of the tools in pptXTREME Edit are what you call click savers. That is, it enables one-click access to functions that would normally take upwards of 5+ clicks through menus in PowerPoint, and in most cases, avoid manual alignment and recreating animations. For easy access to commonly used functions are also available on the pptX shortcut bar down here. Let's start with the full frame tool. This function simply resizes all selected shapes to fill the slide. In this real-world example, I have a picture that I've already brought into PowerPoint. One click, and that picture fills the slide. On the next slide, I have another picture. This one's a different proportion than the slide. So if I hold Shift as I click on full frame, pptXTREME will resize it to fit the slide while keeping proportions of the shape. Next, let's talk about the size and position painters. Essentially, they work just like PowerPoint's format painter, except they work on size and position instead of formatting. For example, here I have two slides in a row, both with a chart. It would look much better while transitioning if I could easily match the size of these charts. Well, simple. Click on the first chart and choose Pick Up Size and Position from either the pptXTREME ribbon or from the shortcut bar. Now click on the next slide, select that chart, and apply size and position. And now, when I go back and forth, these charts match in size. Of course, there are many uses for this tool to be at your fingertips, but this is just one example. The next two tools do the same thing, but in addition to size and position, it also picks up and applies the formatting. Here I have a subheader on this slide, just the way I want it. On the next few slides, I have some text that have not been positioned and formatted properly. So I'll just select this shape and pick up size, position, and format. On the next slide, I'll apply to this one, where the position's a little bit off. This one has the wrong position and the wrong font. Click, fixed. This one has a lot wrong with it. Now I'm going to select this. And instead of clicking on the tool above, I'm going to hit Ctrl-Shift-Y. Ctrl-Shift-Y will always activate the last pptXTREME command use. So in a case like this, if I'm going to be applying format and position to a lot of shapes in a row, I'll just keep hitting Ctrl-Shift-Y instead of clicking up at the tool. The next set of tools I want to show you are the animation painter. This allows you to pick up and apply animation settings in the same fashion. There are many instances where you'd want to copy animations from one object to another. But in this case, I'm just going to show you the genesis of how this tool originated, and that is to deal with grouping and ungrouping. Here, I have a slide with a bunch of animations set. Let's show you what it looks like. Notice the text is grouped and animated as one piece. Let's say I need to edit that group. For example, add another line and a little photo icon. First, I'll insert picture to get a little photo in there. Now, before I ungroup this text, I'm going to click on the Pickup Animation from pptXTREME, and then I will ungroup this. I'm going to duplicate, oops, not that. I'm going to duplicate this piece of text down here and add a little title, American. Next, I'll just readjust this photo a little bit so that it looks a little better. And now I'm going to select all these shapes. I'm going to group them back up again. And then I'm going to reapply the animation I set on it. And now, play all, you can see we have exactly the same animation we had with a different group. The next few tools I'm going to talk about are the character and line spacing commands, which are here on the ribbon and down here on the pptXTREME shortcut bar. These tools don't do anything that cannot be done with PowerPoint all by itself. They do, however, make it much more functional and much faster. Let's say I'm trying to design this slide, and I want to play with the character spacing of the text "Invest in." To do this without pptXTREME, I'm going to click on Home, then pull out the Font menu, then click on Character Spacing. Then I guess at what number I might want to put in here and click OK. If that's not what I wanted, I do the same process again and again and again until I get it right. With pptXTREME, it's all right here. Select the text, and on the shortcut bar, I'm going to increase and decrease the character spacing. If I hold down Shift, it increases and decreases in larger increments. So I'm just going to Shift click 1, 2, 3 times. Then I'm going to regular click down a few times. Perfect. That's exactly what I want it to look like. On the pptXTREME ribbon, these tools are accessible by pulling down the character spacing menu. Also on this menu is a function to reset character spacing to default, which first I have to select. Next is line spacing. This works the same way. First, I'll point out how cumbersome it is to edit the line spacing in fine detail in PowerPoint. Select the text, click Home, pull down the line spacing menu, go to line spacing options, guess at all the options you want. Let's do multiple 0.7. And of course, if it's not what you want, do it over and over again until you get it right. Wouldn't it be nice if you could adjust this while seeing feedback? Well, now you can. Select the text, click Decrease Line Spacing, and you see feedback instantaneously. Just like character spacing, hold Shift and it decreases and increases more. So let's go about there. And if I want to adjust the settings for only some of the lines, no problem. Just select the text I'm interested in adjusting and click Increase and Decrease Line Spacings. Just like character spacing, these functions are available on the pptXTREME ribbon. And again, you'll see there's a reset to reset everything back to default. Additionally, if the small and large increments are not exactly what you like, you can edit the increment values for character and line spacing in the Options menu. Click About Register, Options, click on the Edit tab, and here you can adjust the values to your liking. And of course, you can reset these values to default by clicking down here. Lastly, let's talk about the Grayscale Editor. This is a tool that enables global changes to grayscale settings for printing in black and white. First, let's go to Slide Sorter View so I can see changes better. I'll press Ctrl-Shift-X to bring up the pptXTREME ribbon, and then I'll click on the Grayscale Editor. PowerPoint automatically changes to grayscale view so you can see what you get when you print. You can click Toggle Grayscale View at any time to go back and forth between color and grayscale to make it easier to see if you're missing any information. Below that is the Apply in Real-Time checkbox. If you uncheck that box, then changes will not be made until you hit Apply. In the Apply To box, you can choose if you want to apply changes to all slides in the presentation or just the selected slides. For my example, let's leave it on Apply in Real-Time and Apply to all slides. You can see in this presentation that it's missing a lot of information by default, mostly that there are a lot of images applied to the background which are not showing. So first, I think I'm going to do is change all the backgrounds to light grayscale. Great, that looks better already. Now let's pretend I prefer to have the photos be darker. So I'm going to change the backgrounds this time to grayscale instead of light grayscale. Okay, that's what I wanted, but the text is now unreadable. So let's change all the text boxes to white to make that part more readable. That got most of them, but these two slides here, 11 and 12, that text there is grouped, and so it's not finding it as text but as groups. So let's change the groups also to white. Perfect. Now I have exactly what I want, and I'll just close out of the black and white mode editor, and I'm ready to print. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. I'm Keith Tromer for PPT Extreme. See you next time.